Hello everyone, welcome to our today's Q&A session. You've had quite a few questions. You sent them to us via email. You also commented on our videos on our Facebook and Instagram, and we're gonna go and have a look at some of those today. So you were also wondering what is new in Divesoft. There's always something happening. So for example, this is our new warehouse. We had no more room in the factory as we're expanding, so we had to renovate and make a new warehouse right here. And also we've got a brand new recording studio, which is right there, and that's where we are heading right now. So let's go over to the recording studio and let's go and have a look at your questions and answer some of them. Okay, so let's get to our first question. Do you have any updates on Liberty Heavy's release date? Yes, we do. The Liberty Heavy is just around the corner. So we're just finishing some last testing and we are looking at releasing this configuration between June and July. So the next question is, any chance of making an internally bungeed wing for Liberty back mount? We are not planning to make internally bungeed wing. You can select from a wing with the bungees on the outer side of the wing, or with the new Liberty Heavy configuration, you will be actually able to put your own wing to the configuration. So if you have a wing like that and you feel comfortable using it on the unit, you can do so. Okay, so the next one is, will Liberty put a gag strap on the units or make it an option to get one? Yes, every brand new unit is supplied with a mouth retainer. You can also go and select to go with this one, which can be either selected in a configurator or you can get it on our eShop. That's the one I personally prefer and I run my unit with. So if you wish to get this one, you can go through the eShop or get it with your brand new unit in a configurator. But every unit comes with a mouth retainer already in the box. So the last question was from Rebecca, which asked us a few questions. So we also have to give space to Daniel. So Daniel's question was, we need a special about the origin story of Divesoft. Well, we actually are planning one. We've got one on the list of videos we're going to be making. So we are prepping up to film a video about the history of Divesoft, and we're also going to have one with the whole factory where you're going to see the manufacturing process of how it works and a bit more of a detail from our factory. So that's in the pipeline and we'll hopefully get to it very soon. So stay tuned. The next one is one of Bobby's questions. When does the new standalone Dive computer come out? Great question there, Bobby. So the Freedom Force computer is going to be coming out in the... And so it's not too far off. So stay tuned for that one. And let's have a look at the next question. So next one's from Rebecca. Why won't Joseph dive in California water? Well, I don't know, but I think it may have started about 2 years ago when he was visiting us and we went diving to Lake Attersee in Austria, where the water has 4 degrees of centigrade. And I think he may have gotten scarred from that. I don't know. Okay, the next question. Can the app checklist integrate into wet notes so we have a checklist tied to a dive? Yes, in the future we are planning to do that. So upon login to your wet notes, you'll be able to see your checklist there. And we are also, this is obviously all going to be hooked in using Bluetooth connection. And we'll also be releasing more and more functions for wet notes and for the application as well. So this is all coming and we're going to be releasing all those new features as the time goes. Now moving on to the next couple of questions. Those two are actually related. So I'm gonna read them out both and then I'm gonna give you the answer to them. So the first one is, why the weird scaling of tank size when configuring your bailout into the Liberty? That's the first one. And the second one, can you explain the number value for the tank cylinder, for the tank size in the Freedom computer, diving double 100 HP cylinders and having trouble getting the tank size right? Okay, so let's have a look into this. So In your Freedom Dive computer and in your Liberty, you are setting your cylinder size and the pressure that your cylinder holds. This is used, for example, for calculating the remaining time on the cylinder and so on and so forth. So let's have a look at how you set it up. So when it comes to metric system, you set your tank size in liters and your pressure in bars. When it comes to imperial system, you set your tank size in cubic feet and your pressure in PSI. So when it comes to the pressure, you just set your pressure, whatever pressure your cylinder holds when you're going for a dive. And when it comes to a tank size, we are actually setting the volume in cubic feet, but we are using the metric logic. So what is happening is that we are actually setting the volume that the cylinder will hold in water. So we are setting the water volume of the cylinder. So the way you set this up is that you can find the volume, the water volume of your cylinder either from the table where you can find your cylinder and you can see the water, the volume of the water that your cylinder will hold, or you can find this volume, you can find the volume of your cylinder in liters and then just use your phone unit converter or any other converter to convert the volume in the water volume in liters into cubic feet. And then you set this number into the tank size here in your Liberty or in your Freedom computer. So for example, 80 cubic foot cylinder will work out to be 11.1 liters, which when converted into cubic feet works out to be, when rounded up, at 0.4 cubic feet. So you put 0.4 and you are set. So we're going to add the table with a list of the cylinders to the support part of our webpage for Freedom Computer and for Liberty. And you can download this table from there and see what size of your cylinder you have and also what you need to preset into your Liberty or into your Freedom diving computer. Also in the future, we're planning on adding the list of the cylinders actually into your Freedom computer or into the Liberty. So you will then be able to just go through the list and select the actual type of cylinder or cylinders that you are using, and the unit will just work everything else out. I hope I made this a little bit clearer. And let's move on to the next question. If there is anything else that's unclear, please let us know and we can make a separate video where we can get more into detail of this if you like. Just let us know. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. There is one from Rebecca. Where is everyone's favorite place to dive? Caves, wrecks, and reef? So I assume this is probably more to Joe, Jacob, and myself. So I'll start with myself and then we can get Joe and Jacob to record themselves where their favorite places are. I'm not much of a cave person, but when it comes to wrecks, I really enjoyed diving the SS Yungala wreck in Australia. That one's really beautiful when it comes to marine life. And the wrecks of Truck Lagoon. We spent an entire dive of engine room of Unkai Maru. I really love that one. But yeah, there's a whole bunch of wrecks in Truck that I really love. So at the moment, that's probably the top wreck diving place. And when it comes to reef, I had a great time in Australia on a Great Barrier Reef, on Osprey Reef, on the outer reef, and also on a reef called The Peak, which is off Sydney. It's underwater mountain with a really beautiful underwater reef. So those are kind of my favorite dive spots. So let's have a look at what Jakub Šimánek are.
Hello everyone, Jakub here. So my favorite dive spots are Hranická Abyss as a cave. It's the deepest cave in the world. Then my favorite reef is a Daedalus reef in Red Sea. But I also very enjoyed walls in Kornaty National Park in Croatia. That was beautiful. And I'm not so much a wreck guy, but I very like wrecks in Vis Island, on Vis Island in Croatia as well.
Yeah, those are really nice too, actually. What about Mr. Joe? What do you reckon, Joe?
Hey guys, Joe here. We are out on the road. We're in Arizona right now. We've been driving from Florida, headed west out to California, and you guys had a couple questions that you guys wanted some answers with regarding what is my favorite cave to dive, favorite shipwreck, and favorite reef. So, you know, I would honestly say probably one of my favorite caves is Ginny Springs. I know it's like one of the most like common like Disney World style of caves, but you know, it's such an incredible place. There's always so much to see, and I'm always seeing more and more and more. And then talking about shipwrecks, probably one of my favorite wrecks that I've recently started going to more often was the Spiegel Grove. I love that shipwreck. And then, you know, there's also even a resident Goliath grouper there, so that's pretty fun to see. And then favorite reef, last year we went diving in Xcalac in Mexico, and so part of the Mesoamerican reef down south, it's almost on the Belize border. The reef there, incredible, it's fantastic. So I know it's not wild and exotic locations, but there's just so much to see and all the little details and everything, and it's a lot of fun. So hope you guys like those, and I'll be seeing you guys soon. See y'all in California. Bye.
Yeah, those are pretty nice. So let's move on to the next question. An Instagram question. Any special tips for traveling with your CCR? Ah, good. So we are actually planning on doing a whole video with which we're planning on being quite detailed about how to prep yourself up to travel with your CCR. There's quite a few things that you can do to speed up the process and make your traveling easier. But a few bits that we can have a look at right off the bat is when I personally travel, or when a lot of us travel too, we usually separate the head and take the head on board of the aircraft if we're flying somewhere with us, and we put the rest of the unit into the case. Either your travel case, you prefer something more sturdy or something harder that can take a bit of an abuse when it's being moved around, and or you can put the unit in peli case and you can just fill the case up with your clothes or anything to make sure all the bits are protected. If you can keep the whole frame in one piece, so there's less things that can move around. When it comes to the head itself, we actually have one thing that we are going to be coming up with very soon, and that is this case. So that's a head case. You are going to be able to put the head into it and take it with you as a extra luggage. So now you don't have to try to figure out how to wrap the head up and where to put it, and if you need to put it into your backpack, you'll be able to get a special case for it. And you'll just put the head in it with all the handsets and everything. And also up here there is a pocket where you've got a little space for example, your Liberty passport. So it's always good to be able to provide as much information to the airport personnel as you can. So they usually don't know what the rebreather is or what the rebreather head is, and for them it's this complicated thing with batteries and electronics. So it's good to be able to provide them with information what the actual thing is. So the Liberty passport has all the information in it, so you can help them to tell what it is. So that's what you can carry with yourself. We'll also later look at this in more detail. Usually it's good to inform the people at the check-in straight away and go to oversized luggage department, and there you can show everyone what the rebreather is, and you can show them everything. They will find the unit anyway once the unit goes through the scanner, so it's better to tell them everything in the beginning what you have, and show the security people that what you have, rather than being called out later and risking potential delays. When it comes to cylinders, it's very important to keep your valves off. Also, when the cylinders go through the scanners, they usually trigger the security personnel, and they want to have a look inside to make sure there is nothing in them and that sort of thing. So it's good to have everything ready. If you can label items in your bag. So if, for example, you transfer flights and customs would want to open the bags and have a look inside, this can provide them somewhat of an information of what they are looking at to make their life easier and potentially streamline the process of your bag getting through. One thing to bear in mind is that the airport security is there for our safety, and our gear kind of does look a bit suspicious. So it's good to be patient with them and to provide them with any information that they require to speed up the process. The other good thing is to get to your destination a few days earlier if you can. This can avoid a potential issue in case that your bag wouldn't make it on your flight, and this can allow more time for the bag to be put on a next flight and to make it to the destination on time. So you don't want to jeopardize your holiday just because your unit didn't arrive on time because you couldn't get on a flight. So the next question is actually one that we have seen quite a few times under our videos, and that one is, will Liberty ever have compass? Well, Liberty will not have a compass in it, but we are just about to release our ODA, optical display adapter, which is a remote display which is connected to your Liberty instead of your head-up display, and that displays all the necessary information right in front of your eye. ODA also has a digital compass in it, so that will introduce this feature to your Liberty. So the release date for ODA is on the 29th of June, so it's just around the corner. So stay tuned for the release and get your Liberty unit ready. And our last question for today: what certification do I have to be able to demo dive or try Liberty? So you can go and do a demo dive with one of our certified instructors. You just need to be scuba certified to be able to do the demo dive. So as long as you're scuba certified, you can contact one of our instructors. On the bottom of our website, there's a list of our instructors, so you can select the configuration that you would like to try and just contact the instructor and arrange a demo dive with him. So that's it for our today's Q&A session. I hope that I was able to answer most of your questions. And if you have any further questions, please let us know in comments down below. You can also email us at info@divesoft.com, and you can visit our webpage at divesoft.com. Also, don't forget to follow our social networks, and I look forward to seeing you in our next video.